YouTube. It's Shelter the Destroyer, and we are going to watch a pitch meeting specifically on Snow White because that is current, I guess. Grab your snackies, grab your bevies. Let me know what you eat or drink down below. Let me know, did you go see Snow White? I have not. I've heard stuff about it. How do you feel about it? Anyway, let me know below. Let me know down below. Let's get to watching. I can get words out.
So, you have that live-action Snow White script for me? Yes, sir, I do. Oh boy, time to tap into that hardcore Snow White audience. So at the beginning of the movie, we find out that Snow White...
I just want to say, honestly, Snow White is really important. It was really important for Disney. She was important. I don't love that this is what's happening to her.
Its parents named her that because she was born in a snowstorm. Naming your kid after the weather conditions at their birth is a good strategy. That's why I named my son Mistifer. It's why I named my daughter Partly Claudia. Anyway,
Mistifer and Partly Claudia. All right.
A couple years later, Snow White's mom dies. Dies from what? From being a parent in a Disney movie. Oh, that'll get you. So then the king meets the evil queen and marries her. Why would he?
I mean, she's very pretty. I just want to say, that's why I named my son Tornado. You don't hate Mistifer? No. Mistifer? That kid's gonna get bullied. That kid's gonna get made fun of.
Marry someone named the Evil Queen. Should have probably been a red flag, yeah. Do you have anyone in mind to play her? Just someone who can deliver her lines. No deal! Oh my god. So then what happens? Well, then the frickin'...
So one of the things that I have heard is that Rachel Ziegler, was like the strongest part of that movie, which I feel like is a little unfortunate. And the only reason why I feel like that is unfortunate is because I don't know if they just didn't coach her for the press tour or what. I think she did kind of some damage on the press tour with some of the things that she was saying in interviews. That's my personal opinion. But a lot of people have been talking about how Gal Gadot cannot act in this movie, apparently. Like, she did not act well at all.
Dad disappears and she seizes the throne. Oh no. Yeah, and stuff is dire in the kingdom under her rule. We're talking very muted colors and some dust. That sounds like a nightmare. It's worse than hell. So anyway, then Snow White grows up and her entire facial structure changes and she gets a little Lord Farquaad bob. What? And everyone assumes she's dead, but she's actually working as a maid inside the castle. Why would she be presumed dead if she's been walking around the castle this whole time? Unclear. But one day this cute thief steals some potatoes and he gets sentenced to death. So she goes to say,
is that Jonathan? The famed Jonathan? Of whomst I was confused about? Jonathan. Anyway.
How does she manage that? Well, he was just kind of tied to a fence with some loose rope, so she gives it a light tug and saves him. Solving problems with a light tug is tight. Okay. So who's this dashing man? What's his dashing name? Oh, you're gonna like this. Jonathan? Anyway, then the magic mirror.
Yeah. Whomst? Who is this just random dude? Like, why? Why is there just random dude?
Tells the queen that Lord Farquaad is fairer than her, so she's like, well, she's gotta die now. She wants Snow White dead? Why'd she keep her alive in the first place? Unclear. So then the queen tells this huntsman to kill Snow White, but he sets her free into the forest. Okay. And that's when we're gonna see her iconic outfit. Oh, I've got a coupon code for a site called Temu. Maybe we could get one off of there. Yeah.
It does look really bad. I think it does not mesh well together, the colors that they chose, and I don't think it's very flattering on her complexion. Again, I have had issues with the hairstyle they gave her and the freaking dress and how bad it looks. Like 100% it's been bothering me so bad.
That sounds good. So anyway, then she finds a house and does a little B&E and takes a nap. Just straight into bed. Sir, she's had a big day. She ran through trees, fell in water, and saw a bunch of CGI animals. That's a good point. So then we're gonna meet the CGI dwarves, and oh boy, do they look like living corpses. And what's their deal? Well, they work in the mines. For who? Hey, shut up, and they have magic powers. They do?
Okay, I like how that's just like, what mines? For what reason? Anyway. What are the mines? Who owns these mines? Whose mines are they? Are they the dwarves' mines? Do they sell the gems they get? You know, thinking about it, I don't know the answer to that question for any version of Snow White. Yeah, they don't really address that anywhere. So, fair, I guess. Fair.
Tell me about those. I'd rather not. We're just gonna show them having glowing hands once and then never mention it again. Fair enough. And then we're gonna have them sing hi-ho. Very polite. Promiscuous women deserve to be greeted too. What? So then what happens? Well, later Snow White's
Hi-ho. Okay. Sometimes they're not miners. Sometimes they're like thieves or rogues or something. They're not always like miners.
gonna meet up with Jonathan again and his friends, the 7 Bandits. Oh, we're meeting a whole other group of 7. Yeah, one group of 7's not gonna be enough.
Oh yeah, the Bandits. The other thing I have heard about this movie is that basically they made a movie and it didn't test well, so they reshot it and made a new movie. And then they just decided to kind of combine the two movies. And people were like, you can tell that that's what happened. And if that's not what happened, that's what feels like happened. Because they were going to replace the dwarves. Hold on. Sorry. They're going to replace the dwarves with the bandits, but then people were unhappy about that. So then they reshot it with the dwarves. I think. This is what I've heard.
Time around, the fans are clamoring for more groups of 7. Are they? Yes! Feels like it'll be tough for people to get attached to this many characters. Actually, maybe, yeah, that's a good point. I don't care, though. Oh, okay. So then they're gonna get attacked by the Queen's soldiers, and Jonathan's gonna jump in front of an arrow that was gonna hit Snow White. Is he okay? Yep. All right. So let's not talk about it again, ever. That works for me. Anyway, Jonathan takes off to look for...
What? Hold on.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. I don't care, though. It'd be tough for people to get attached to this many characters. Actually, maybe, yeah, that's a good point. I don't care, though. Oh, okay. So then they're gonna get attacked by the Queen's...
Specifically in a movie that is like... How long is this movie? Like, we'll say like 2 hours, right? Like 2-3 hours, maybe? I feel like it's 2 hours. I don't know that. That's 15... 16-ish characters that we're supposed to be like feeling positive about. I don't know.
Soldiers.
1 hour, 49 minutes, so about 2 hours.
And Jonathan's gonna jump in front of an arrow that was gonna hit Snow White. Is he okay? Yep. All right. So let's not talk about it again, ever. That works for me. Anyway, Jonathan takes off to look for Snow White's dad, because he might still be alive, and he gets captured. Oh, no. Yeah, so he gets tossed in a freaking prison cell along with that huntsman guy. Oh, no. Yeah, and he tries pulling on his chains to get free, but it's no use. He's stuck in there. Well, sounds like it's gonna be impossible for him to break out of there. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, both him and the huntsman pull on the chains, and then that works, and they get free. Had nobody ever tried that before? Guess not. And there aren't any guards around? None. Well, fantastic. But now the evil queen knows that Snow White's still alive, so she disguises herself as an old woman and convinces her to eat a poison apple. To kill her? No, to make her sleep real hard, unless someone kisses her unconscious body with some real feelings behind it. Why not try that arrow strategy again? Because they tried that once and it didn't work, and
or like put her to sleep and then like stab her. I feel like there's better ways. Like, I feel like there's like more legit ways, you know?
By movie logic, they cannot try again. I feel like it might eventually work though if you keep shooting arrows at her. Impossible. So all the CGI animals see that the queen is doing this to Snow White, so they take off to warn the dwarves. Why don't they warn Snow White if they're right there with her? Hey, shut up again. So then the dwarves get back, but they're too late.
Hey, how about you quit messing with my vibe, all right? Listen, I got a story lined up. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your ideas. Stop giving me suggestions. I didn't ask for that. I'm sorry.
They warn Snow White if they're right there with her. Hey, shut up again. So then the dwarves get back, but they're too late. Snow White is very much asleep. Wow, I wonder if she'll wake up. She will, because Jonathan's gonna plop his big wet lips on what he thinks is her dead corpse. Very romantic. So she wakes up, and now they gotta go.
What does that mean? On what he thinks is her dead Oh. So they do kiss? What is that? Flop his big what? Flop his big web. What? But they do kiss? Is that? I thought that was like. They do kiss, but originally they changed it. Okay.
Confront this frickin' queen. Yeah, they better. How are they gonna take her down?
The Kiss was a reshoot. If you're familiar with it, the TV show Once Upon a Time did Girl Boss No way better in it. I do remember Once Upon a Time. I felt like the first couple of seasons of Once Upon a Time were very fun and engaging, and then it kind of dragged on too long.
So she wakes up, and now they gotta go confront this frickin' queen. Yeah, they better. How are they gonna take her down? Well, Snow White's got a trick up her sleeve. She reveals that she remembers the names and professions of the people that now work for the queen.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, that solves everything, and everyone turns against the queen. Wow.
What? Hey, I worked among them, so I know their names and what they do. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Well, thank God that worked and that the queen didn't try that arrow thing again. Well, it would have been no match for knowing that this one guard's name is Paul. I guess not. So then the queen destroys the magic mirror, which absorbs her into it, which is how it works now, I decided. Great. So what do you think? Hey, listen, you've described a movie. You're darn right. And
Wait, what? I'm sorry. What?
destroys the match for knowing that this one guard's name is Paul. I guess not. So then the queen destroys the magic mirror, which absorbs her into it, which is how it works now, I decided.
Okay. Why? I'm confused. Why did the queen destroy the magic mirror? Did she know it was going to absorb her? I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. I'm trying to what? That doesn't make any sense. Don't say because plot reasons. That doesn't make any sense. Like, legitimately trying to forget. Like, Disney didn't want to show someone die, I guess. I don't. Best guess is there's like 2 or 3 different cuts of the movie they made after multiple reshoots, and what we got was the mashed up remains. That has been a complaint that people who have seen the movie have said, that it definitely feels like at least 2 different movies smashed together, and you can really feel it and you can kind of tell. And so it's like not great. But I'm just, she fell off a cliff before. Yeah, sure. But like, I don't. You're putting more effort into thinking of the plot than the writers did. I don't know. Apparently the writers wrote at least 2 different versions of this movie, at least. So like, I don't know. And then they were like, cool, mash these together and hope it works. That doesn't make any sense. And It's bothering me.
Right.
Okay.
So what do you think? Hey, listen, you've described a movie. You're darn right. In court, you wouldn't be able to argue otherwise. And the movie you've described, well, who wouldn't want to watch that?
Me. Me, if nothing else. I've said this before. I'll say this again. You watch the other like actresses that have played iconic Disney princesses, and they all have basically positive things to say about like the character they're portraying, the story, you know, the strength of the character, and how the strength isn't necessarily like I'm gonna pick up a sword and fight, unless you're Mulan. I don't know. Argument about Mulan being a Disney princess, but anyway, but like it's like they have their own kind of strength, and like, you know, their strength comes out of their kindness, their loyalty, their curiosity, their like all the like name a positive trait. And then everything I've seen her say about Snow White is like she was scared of it, she didn't like it. It's creepy, it's gross. She's gonna make a better movie, all this other stuff, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be 100% with you. Really feel like Disney's making these remakes in a way to be a little bit lazy, and also the children that grew up watching these kind of as they came out or whatever, other than Snow White, 'cause Snow White was like released in like the 40s, are, you know, bare minimum, they're at least parents. Some of them are grandparents. They are like, cool, let's take my kids or my grandkids to experience the magic I experienced as a child. So you basically shitting on this like iconic, really important to Disney's history movie and story maybe isn't the best idea. I'm just saying. No, the live action Mulan was kind of like, she's just better than everybody else. That's kind of how that went. The original, I really liked the animated Mulan movie growing up, but the movie's 80 years old and pretty dated was another one. Like, sure, yes, all of those, like, all of your, like, historic fairy tales, yes, have some dated stuff to it. But also, they kind of persevere, not just because of Disney, like Disney definitely helped, but they're re-seen by not just Disney in like animated works or like live action stuff, because they are so beloved and because they have really kind of themes that you can use, like the quiet strength of just being kind, or like perseverance, or just believing and working toward a goal and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of like, it's just so, this is so bad. Like, this is so bad. I'm tired of Hollywood right now.
Hi, this is Ryan George from The Thing You Just Watched. Please enjoy this slideshow from The Thing You Just Watched.
Quad. All right. What's annoying is that there are a lot. This is just really upsetting, I'm gonna be honest. There is a lot of good live action version or retellings of a lot of fairy tales. I mean, even in Japan, we have like a bunch of manga that's getting turned into anime or whatever that is like a loose retelling of the Cinderella story, or have taken themes of the Cinderella story or themes of the Snow White story and like added it to their, or like that's kind of how the story starts and then it branches off in a completely different direction or expands upon it or whatever. Like, I don't think it's that hard. I mean, I'm not a writer, so like there's that, but like why are you taking that and then just like on your press tour shitting all over the original and how you're going to change it and how you're going to make it better and like all this other stuff, and then just come out with a movie that was like 2 or 3 movies combined together because the first take of your movie did not do well with like trial audiences. Like it absolutely was like people did not like it. So you were like, oh, okay, well, we'll just kind of mesh some stuff together with reshoots. Like, come on. Really? Also, 100% Hoopst is not giving these people like PR classes or PR training. Like you're sending them out on these press tours and you're not giving them like, hey, don't shit on the original. Like don't absolutely drag the original. I don't care what your fucking feelings were. Lie about it. Like something. Because you're really trying to kind of like connect with the people who this story is beloved. You're really trying to connect with the people that like it. Like, I can't even. I cannot even. I disagree. I didn't super care for the Maleficent one. Because Maleficent is supposed to be a fairy. There's reasons why she's quote unquote evil, that kind of crap. I really liked the live action Cinderella one that they did. Out of all of the live action remakes that Disney is putting out, the Cinderella one was my favorite. That's just me personally. If you like the Maleficent one, that's totally fine. Beauty and the Beast was basically just a kind of shot-by-shot remake with some random extra things. I was really bothered by some of the stuff in the Beauty and the Beast one. Like, it kind of drove me crazy. My favorite one was Cinderella. It is probably the more simplistic of them. It was like one of the earliest of them. It's probably one of the more quote-unquote simplistic ones. But it's like, it's just a nice little story. Tiger Get, thank you for the follow. It's just nice. It's just pleasant to watch. It's fun to watch. It's pretty. There's humor in it. It's a Cinderella story. Like, you don't, like, I understand it's like, well, you don't want to watch the same story over and over again. Yes, I do. That's why I read all of the villainous time regression and I woke up as a villainous whatever manga, okay? I read the same story with a different color palette 500 times, okay? Like, we like what we like, all right? Just, it's fine. Okay? I promise you, it's fine. We keep going to Cinderella stories because we like them. Sometimes we like things that are familiar to us because they're safe, okay? I'm just saying.